this is actually understating the nature of the problem in a very significant way. And because it's constructed with these other pieces of the federal budget frozen at shares of GDP, it truly disguises the pain that would go on these trajectories. I mean, it's important to note that what's happening now as these large health spending programs, in particular Medicare, Medicaid, Affordable Care Acts, CHIP programs, plus Social Security, the large mandatory spending programs in the budget, as they are growing, they are crowding out the rest of the budget. Unlike these simulations, we are seeing the annual spending, the discretionary spending that funds national security, basic research, infrastructure, education, the kinds of things our founders would have recognized as the role of government, they are steadily going away. And that, in fact, is a budgetary recipe for disaster because we are letting the legacy programs of the past crush the places where the federal government actually invests in the future and protects us and makes us stronger. So I consider all of this an extremely good news version of what's going on, and I think it ought to be read that way. Probably the most, I think, important insight that comes out of this is the fact that the CBO has built into the next 10 years this negative excess cost growth. I mean, I hadn't realized that until I read the paper. It's just a stunning assumption which is at odds with the history and really does influence the nature of the perceived policy trade-offs that policymakers have, and does, in fact, I think, feed this notion that we don't have to act now. I think that's a really big issue because, as Bill has pointed out, and this the paper makes very, very clear, we have a problem, and period. And it is imperative as a matter of risk management. We don't know what these numbers are, but these risks are all one-sided. We can either act, take out the insurance, and maybe we get lucky and we have some flexibility and a future democracy has some fiscal room to do something new if it wants to, or we don't act, in which case, even in the best scenarios, everyone's locked into a very undesirable situation from an economic and budgetary perspective.